Hi guys, welcome to Thrastzone.com. This is Mohit Soni and right in front of you is the Honda Hornet 2.0. This is the 184cc version which replaces the 160 version in the Indian market for now. And what we know and what Honda is telling us is that this is the international street fighter. What that means, Honda has taken the street fighter game in terms of power, in terms of ride and handling to a international level, and we kind of believe that after our first riding impressions and also what is on offer on paper right now. Let's begin with discussing what the engine is like and what the design is to begin with. So what you can see here is an all new LED headlamp. It looks really great. The LED lights are also good. What is the biggest change here is these golden forks, which truly look like an international street fighter. For the first time we are actually agreeing with a marketing term that Honda is using, and I think it's great to see USD forks on a bike like this. You've got blue color, which is going really well with the golden and the black scheme. There's a bit of hint of gray here as well. There is some of it is matte finish, while some of it has very good matte finish indeed throughout the bike. But this part here, so the graphics here sort of give it a very slightly glossy look. The tank is very impressive, and the tank also has a big feature this time, and this is the very Superbike inspired key that is put on this bike. That's the engine kill switch. The motorcycle enthusiasts from the last decade would know how much important this is and how much Honda has been criticized to put these. They are finally making it available throughout their motorcycle and scooter range, and I think Honda has done a great job in taking the criticism in the right way. Let's start up the meter. This is the meter where you can see trip A, trip B, battery voltage, and yeah, that's the amount of kilometers on it. We are yet to ride it more, and yeah, that's the typical kill switch. You have the pass light button here. This cable has been well covered with this cover here. Usually it's left blank, so in terms of finish also this motorcycle is quite good. You've got a lovely satin finish on the handlebars. This is how it's being clamped with this, again, very lovely looking clamp for the handlebar. And look how here the black clamps hold the golden forks. They look very good. You've got a carbon finish here. Looks very great, feels very high quality, won't come out because build quality looks very epic to me. Obviously some parts are not that great, but still far better than some motorcycles, some other Japanese motorcycles, by a good margin. That's the engine and the Honda logo. Pegs are quite similar to what Honda Motorcycles India has been offering. That's the HGT badging, Honda Eco Technology. This is the BS6 version, of course. That's the big fat 140 section tire according to me and according to our team and according to logic also. This tire is an overkill for this segment. A 120 also would have been fine. A 130 would have been great. I think in the interest of acceleration and fuel efficiency, I think Honda should have chosen 130. But then again, when they say they've gone with the international street fighter concept, they're offering a very impressive package here when it comes to hardware. You've got a very good looking engine belly cover. Again, plastics here as well. It covers everything quite neatly. There's hardly any wiring exposure visible to the naked eye. But let me tell you that there is a lot of wiring which is tucked really well, but I don't particularly like how the welds are being done here. It is acceptable, but you expect a bit more from Honda. What I also expect and what is being delivered is that the headlamps are LED, the turn indicators are LED at the front and at the back. Even the lights here, I'm pretty sure they are LED as well. Got a reflector here. You've got a light here which is white light, again very impressive. Dual seats, always give a very sporty look to the motorcycle. Seats quite comfortable for short journeys only and for small passengers only. You've got a grab handle which has a lot of space here. As you can see, my entire palm almost goes inside, so I think that's great news for normal and heavy people like me as well. And yeah, in terms of quality, good. In terms of finish, okay, great in fact. And you got getting a lot of kit as well. The front tire is a 110 section. I think again that's an overkill, because 100 section also would have done fine. But then again, I'm agreeing with Honda and disagreeing at the same time, saying the fact that 100 section also would have sufficed. What you're getting here, and keeping while giving all of this, Honda has chosen to give us a single channel ABS on the Honda Hornet 2.0. But what you get are very good Nissan calipers along with pedal disc, which is also a great addition to the hardware package. That's the muffler, that's the carbon fiber finish here. And yeah, you've got a small cap on the cone set. Always looks great. I think it should have been a bigger size. And let's talk about riding. But before that, let me show you and make you hear what the exhaust note is like. Okay, here we go. This is the exhaust note of the Honda Hornet 2.0. As you can see, it's doing a cold idle right now. The idling is quite high. It will settle down to a smaller RPM. Right now it's doing almost 2100 RPM. It will settle down to 1800, 1900 once it's done cold startup. And now let's jump to the riding part. So after riding the Honda Hornet 2.0 for a full day, what can we tell you? So let me just remind you the specs. It's a 184cc motor making 17.2 PS of power now and 16.1 Newton meters of torque. That is quite a lot of segment power numbers, but what is very impressive is the fact that it just weighs fully fueled 142 kgs. So that gives it a fantastic power to weight ratio. This is also a high stroke engine. That means the bore is smaller than the stroke. That gives you good low end and mid-range torque. At the same time, it gives you a top end as well. Riding this over the previous Hornet, which we had a great experience riding, and what we remember very clearly is that the engine feel is now much more smoother. It doesn't feel lumpier in the mid-range. It's smooth throughout the rev range. It's not going to give you a kick in the pants feeling. It's gone very linear, and every time I say that it's apparent because with every BS6 engine, everything has gotten linear, smoother, much more refined. The vibrations are there, but they're bare minimum around top end. And at redline, most of the time you are not going to feel vibrations, and this is thanks to Honda's acclaimed PGM-5 system, which is called programmed fuel injection. This is Honda's international technology that is now we're seeing right from the Activa to high-end sports bike, and even this Honda Hornet 2.0 getting that. It's a very efficient fuel injection system. In terms of power, like I said, it's got good low end. It's got a much better low end than before. Mid range is the highlight. Top end is great. It does 120 kilometers an hour on the speedo, and that's what the speed limit is. But you'll be quite happy, let's say between 95 to 100, where it stays unstressed and it can maintain that speed all day. I think keeping in mind with the international street fighter concept and given the high price of the Honda Hornet, I think Honda should have given us a 6-speed gearbox that could have made this bike even more standout. It has a lot of standout features. This would have helped it even more. I do appreciate a fifth gear, which is an overdrive unit. It helps you reach the top speed really well. It helps you overtake very quickly on the highway. This is what I've been telling you all the time, that it's not having 6 speed is not a disadvantage. Sometimes 5 speeds also have the advantage. You get quicker acceleration in 5th gear. You don't need to downshift, and I think that also helps in the ease of use and overtaking on the highway. we spoke about the refinement, we spoke about the power delivery, and we spoke about how the engine makes power and torque. This is quite close to its rivals, but the rivals are also 10-year-old in this segment. They've been the Pulsar 180, the Apache 180. They've been making similar power and torque numbers since quite some time. Obviously, Honda has a slight advantage in that aspect, but what has a bigger advantage again is the power to weight ratios, which is very impressive. What I can make out after riding the 160 or the 180 couple of years ago is that it reaches 100 rather quickly than before. It maintains 100 very nicely than before. You're going to feel exactly like how Honda wants you to feel. It is a 150cc engine, 150cc sort of platform with making more power and torque. That's where the premium aspect of the motorcycle kicks in, and the premium aspect also is apparent in the dynamics part. You're getting 110 section front tire, 140 section rear tire. I think that's an overkill for a motorcycle of this size. It doesn't require that much, but then Honda is giving you a premium motorcycle, so they thought why not. And they're still carrying all of these aspects from the Hornet 160, so there's nothing new. The only thing that is new here are the golden colored upside down forks. They definitely make up for the the riding experience, most of it, because the front end is so sporty, so nice. We've been riding bigger motorcycles with upside down forks, and you're getting the same feeling here. I think that escalates the premiumness to a very big level. I think Honda's taken premium aspect quite seriously here, and they've given us a no frills, no compromise motorcycle in this segment. This sets the standard so high that it is pretty much future compliant. Let's say 5 years or 7 years down the line, this motorcycle would feel just right and on par with every other rival if they come and match up with the Hornet. What I'm not happy with definitely is the tires. They take a lot of time to warm up, and even after that, when you start pushing it, they're not that great. There is a bit of slip that I saw throughout my riding experience in the corners, taking sweepers. It wasn't that grippy, didn't allow me to lean that much, but on the straight road it was great. We had a similar complaint when we were riding the Hornet 160, and Honda has not fixed that aspect. I'm very surprised that they've not done that. But the brakes, they feel good. The bite is very impressive. You get a single channel ABS. At the back you also get a pedal disc brake. Since we all know better riders always use their front brakes more, because that's what you always do in a emergency situation. And once you get trained enough to ride motorcycles well, you will realize that front brakes are everything. Apart from that, I think that's what the Honda Hornet 2.0 184cc version is all about. Sure, the pricing is high. In certain cities it reaches 1.5 lakh rupees on road. I think that's a lot of price to pay for a 180cc bike. But then again, small displacement, high priced Japanese motorcycles are seemingly doing well throughout the country. Why? Because they are consistent with their fuel efficiency, they're consistent with their reliability, they're consistent with their performance, they're consistent with their premium aspect, and they deliver that quality. And a Japanese brand always ends up delivering very good reliability records as well. I think that's the reason why people don't shy away giving that much money to a motorcycle which has this kind of displacement and this kind of price. I think Honda should be able to mimic its 160cc success story with this one, because this definitely sets the bar so high that a lot of people might find it very intriguing, and some people might go for some other options in this space. I think that is it. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Make sure you like this. Still want to ask us something, put it in the comment section below. Subscribe to this channel, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and once again, thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.